sleepy day. Good morning. Coming to you live from X Media Group headquarters here in beautiful Springfield, Missouri. It's the Morning Drive with Matt and Jay. With your hosts, Matt and Jay. Glad to have everybody on board with us this morning. You're hot?
No.
Comfy?
More, I took that thick sweatshirt off.
Ah. Was it nice and cool on the way over here this morning?
Yes, it was very cool this morning.
Chilling?
It was chilling cool, man.
All right. Wait for it. You know, I should have started with the bathroom music.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been a good, opening.
Yeah, I could say it would have been.
So, yeah, now I want everybody to hear it. So good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Drive with Matt and Jay. My name is Matt.
My name is Jay.
Glad to have everybody with us today.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do this. I'm going to go back, play video. When we talk about the music in the bathroom, this is my jam. This is actual recording of the bathroom music, standing by the stall.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
if we talk about that from sometimes you'll hear us go doo 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 or whatever. So Jay does sometimes coming in, and then we end up doing it like a whole bunch there. Doo 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 doo. I realize that sounds like the elephant song from the old Lawrence Welk show. Do you remember the Lawrence Welk show?
It sounds like Fred. There was an old show. I can't remember what it was called now. Sanford and Son.
Oh, oh yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
I know which one. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. The one I'm thinking of is do 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 do. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's actually a really catchy tune. And they always have a little elephant that lifts its head up and blows bubbles.
Yeah.
On the piano.
Yeah.
Lawrence Welk. That's on Ozark Public Television.
Right.
Yeah.
So
All right.
I said something yesterday. I was talking about John 8, and I regret that I said it the way I did, and I didn't think about it and go back and, well, anyway, I said something about the stoning, that I would be one there holding the stone. And it's not that I believe that that's the kind of thing that we should do, is to stone people. I think, so I think that came across wrong.
What do you think came across? What do you mean?
I can't remember, when I said that I would be the one carrying the stones and wanting to stone somebody, and then I talked about how hurtful something like adultery was, what I was really trying to get at is that our sin oftentimes doesn't inspire love.
Mm-hmm.
Our sin doesn't inspire love.
It's the opposite.
Feelings of love. Our sin doesn't inspire pure feelings of forgiveness. The reaction that we get from our sin is usually the opposite of that. And so I, just that was what I was trying to say. Not that I would want to stone somebody who is an adulterer, because that's not what I was trying to say, nor is that how I feel. I'm saying that, that when we sin against other people and we hurt them, those sins do not inspire people to love or to forgive.
Right.
So
that's why I tell you.
That was what I was trying to say.
Yeah, and that's another reason why
I think too much sometimes.
That's all right. That's part of who you are. Huh. I think
it's not really a great thing.
No, it is.
No.
I mean, it can be a burden sometimes. Being this attractive is not always a great thing. So,
right.
But no, seriously, sometimes, yes, you do overthink things.
Yeah.
But I'd rather you overthink things than underthink them.
Yeah. Well,
if that makes any sense.
It gets me into trouble, too.
But I don't think you overthought that. I really don't. Because what you were saying, and here's what I got, and I'm pretty sure you guys can agree with me on this. this is what I took away from that. We want to see ourselves as Jesus, telling people, you guys are without sin. But in actuality, we're the ones carrying the stones.
Yeah.
We're the ones that are ready to stone somebody for their sin while not looking at our own.
Yeah.
So that's not overthinking. That is perfectly put. That is very well said. So don't second guess that on yourself. You're right up there. You're I think you're probably a better pastor than me.
Well, I'm glad that you. Well, I think you articulated it better. I was kind of stuck. I was kind of trying to form the thought out loud, and that doesn't always come out well.
But we've talked about it before when we were reading the book of Samuel, 1st and 2nd Samuel, and the whole time we're talking about how terrible Saul of Tarsus is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how dare he? How dare he? We see ourselves as David running from the enemy that's wanting to tear us apart unjustly. When in all actuality, we are just as bad as Saul, right? Mm-hmm. Not doing what God tells us to do, but trying to make our own way of doing it. Yeah. And then saying, well, I'm doing this for you, Lord. When in all actuality, he was doing it for him. Yeah. So the main thing that he was afraid of, and it came down to pride. First of all, he knew that David was going to be king. Yeah. He knew that David had been chosen by God. Yep. And pride. He wanted his sons to take over. He knew that his line of kingship was ended with him, you know, and he just couldn't accept that. No. And the thing that gets me, you know, also look at Aaron. You know, Saul's son. Yeah. Aaron. Is it Aaron? Who was it?
Samuel.
Samuel. No. King David's friend.
Yeah, it wasn't Aaron.
It was
Jonathan.
Jonathan. Sorry. Good morning, Dad. Jonathan knew that he wasn't going to be king.
Didn't he end up fighting for David when David became king?
Yeah. He defended David against his father. Yeah. And he said, okay, so here's what's going to happen. Just to make sure that we're sure about this. David, I want you to sit out here behind this rock. Yeah. I'm going to go up, and I'm going to explain to my dad why you're not there, because he wanted him to come up there so he could kill him. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to go up there, and I'm going to see how he reacts when you're not there. And if he is, in fact, trying to kill you, I'll come out here, do some archery. If I shoot it past the rock and I say, hey, go get it, then, you know, it's something like that. Yeah, hey, go get it. That means don't come back. Go away for a little while because Dad's trying to kill you. Or if I say...
Dad's trying to kill you.
Or if I say, bring that back, then, you know, it was a, what do you call it? It was a code.
Yeah.
Saying, hey, this, yeah. So that way, nobody would know that he was...
Didn't Jonathan go up with his servant into the camp of the Philistines and kill hundreds of men?
Yeah, Jonathan and his shield bearer. Yeah. They went up and they killed what is it? Like, we need to read that.
That wasn't fighting for his father, though, was it? Or was it?
That was him, yeah.
That was fighting when his father was king? Or was that fighting when David was king?
No, that was when his father was king. And he went up there and he said, okay, all right, shield bearer. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah. Yo, shield bearer.
Yo, hey, what's up? Check this out, man. If they tell us to come up to them, we know the Lord's got us. The Lord's going to give them into our hands. If they tell us to stay right there, then we know that the Lord's not going to give them into our hands today. Yeah. And they said,
come on up here.
Come on up here. Let's talk to you. And they slew, the two of them slew what, like?
I can't remember.
Is it 1,000 of them?
I think it may have been.
It demoralized the army and made them run away.
Yeah, because they were like, well, if this is just... Yeah. So that's the power of God, though, in one man.
Whoa.
You know what you can do.
Linda, Bill Weinhold passed away? When did that happen? I knew he wasn't feeling very well the other day, last Friday when I saw him. Oh, man.
Bill.
He's a really tall guy that would come to Freeway. Always wore the sweatshirt.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? He lived
Yeah.
like right across the street.
Yep. Oh.
She says, pray for Bill Weinhold's family as they mourn his passing this morning. Oh, my goodness.
Shocking. We never know. How
You
much
never
time we
know.
have.
No. And he wasn't that old. He was like in his 50s.
Mhm.
Yeah, he was like in his 50s. He had some health issues. Obviously, he was probably worse off than we thought he was.
Yeah.
On a different note, Scott and Marsha's anniversary is today? I thought you guys' anniversary was on my birthday, the 24th. If it's not, if it's the 23rd, happy anniversary. How many years is it?
No. Bill is Bill.
Yeah, you know who he is. He always wears the. He always wore the. The Jesus hats, the scriptural hats that you can buy from when you donate to Teen Challenge outside Walmart. Those hats. He always wore one of those. Always had sunglasses and glasses. Drive a white Pontiac, I think is what it was. It was the white Pontiac. It was a white car.
Didn't
But
he
he
work
always-
on security too.
A long time ago. He's the one that's always. He was always standing out there while I was vaping, and he's the really tall one.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
So I mean, at least we know that he's a Christian and that he loved the Lord, and so we know where he's at. But we will pray for that family. So I was at dinner with my boys the other day.
Yeah.
And those three girls, those three children that got killed in that car accident are actually his cousins by marriage.
Yeah.
And he showed me a picture of them.
Yeah.
And I had to stop eating and stuff. I almost had to get up and walk away from the table because they were beautiful children. In the picture, they're smiling and happy, and I put myself in the position of the family members about how they lost, the feeling of loss that they have. So we're going to continue to pray for that family because I can't even imagine. And when I do try to imagine, it chokes me up like crazy.
Yeah.
Scott and I are dying. He posted that it was today. Okay, so I was right about, on another note, on a funnier note, tomorrow is Scott and Marsha's anniversary. But he's the husband. We're not supposed to remember this stuff. We're supposed to forget it and get in trouble.
Yeah.
I think they had their marriage on my birthday just so they would have an easier time remembering it.
Yeah.
What do you think? Don't you?
I think that's maybe good. Yeah.
Yeah, like getting married on Valentine's Day is pretty cliche.
Yeah.
But I'm all over the place today.
Right. Me too.
So,
So I had a confrontation yesterday.
did you?
Yeah, as you know, I'm openly Christian at work, and I don't know that that's always. Well, it's not. Doesn't make things easier for me sometimes. I don't go. I'm not always just preaching the word and all that stuff, but I'm open about it, and I'm available for people to talk about it if they ever want to. But I also, I get obsessed with things, so I look into biology and stuff like that. And yesterday I was talking to a teacher from Uganda, and he has his class has like 70 students and stuff. He teaches English, biology, and science. And so I mentioned that at work because it was a really fun conversation. I enjoyed it, and so I was talking about it, and so then the subject came up about how biology and things like that would conflict with my faith, and I said, well, they don't conflict with my faith. So that turned into a conversation that really ended up difficult. So sometimes, getting obsessed about things like biology, evolutionary biology, science, subjects like that, where you really want to learn and understand, is where I really want to learn and understand it as well as I can, because I think in the trying to answer the questions that science poses, we do learn more. We learn and understand better. Even if the theories aren't correct, a lot of times they do give us a better understanding. And so I enjoy science that way. But the conflict isn't for me, it's for them. They are the ones with the conflict. And nothing that I can say arguing and
Sorry, go ahead.
the contrast or the conflict between science and religion, or no argument that I can give for faith or religion is going to be any good. It won't prevail in that. You know, the best thing I can do is try to be sanctified in loving people despite their feelings about my beliefs or how upsetting it may be to them. They don't see it the way I do, and there's not always going to be a way for me to reconcile that, though I can challenge the ideas of science and all of that would exclude God. I would challenge those ideas and say that they're false without including God in them. You know, none of those arguments will prevail, and the only thing that will prevail is an enduring love despite how we feel. You know, to choose to love people despite how they feel about me, how they talk about me, or how they treat me, and for that love to endure, to go on and on and on, no matter how I feel that day or how upset I might be about something somebody said. To overlook that and to love anyway, I think is important, because I think that the love of God is what sanctifies us. You know, turning the other cheek, that's a sanctifying action, not one you'll see somebody else do out of love. They may do it out of fear. You know, you may fear that if I hit this person back, then they're really going to pummel me. You know, so that may be a reservation about hitting somebody back. But for it to be love and obedience to God, that's a sanctifying choice. You know?
Yeah.
And to love people despite anything, despite all things. I think
That's hard to do.
the Bible does talk about hate. It talks about, you know, the dust, cleaning the dust off your feet, and so I think sometimes maybe the arguments or the challenges that come to me from other people who believe differently than me are maybe sometimes just best left alone.
Yeah.
And not met head on like there's any hope of winning an argument or or convincing somebody.
You can only go so far before. I mean, you're just like, okay, I planted the seed there.
Yeah, you can't convince people. You can't convince people. The seed is important.
The Spirit can convince people.
Right.
Our job is to introduce them.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is my Savior, Jesus Christ, right here.
Yeah.
Awesome guy. Awesome.
I want to be prepared for those
And
arguments.
here's the Holy Spirit.
But what do I want to promote? You know, what do I want to promote? Do I want to promote a good argument that challenges, evolution? Or do I want to love people and have them feel like there's something better?
Yeah.
So
speaking of, having stress and stuff, yesterday.
You ready?
Well, yeah, not just yet. I'm going to preface this by saying, when you don't get much sleep, you have, I know me personally, I have a tendency of getting kind of grumpy. I find myself getting irritated irrationally.
Yeah.
I don't like that. That's not who I am. And I found myself yesterday getting irritated with people for no reason. In my mind, it was a reason, like whenever a driver just drives through with a bobtail and he doesn't get out of his truck because, he just wants to da-da-da. That never bothers me. And yesterday it irritated me. Why? I don't know. Someone came up to my window. I was like, in my mind, I went, oh, great. What does she want? I don't want to be cynical like that. So I think it's probably because of lack of sleep. But, pray for me on that. That's the only real confrontation I had yesterday.
Yeah.
Most of the time. I do have to say, I have one of the guys up at work. He cusses a lot, and he is watching his mouth around me now. He said it's because I'm not a jerk about it. He knows that because I mean, there for a while he would say an extremely bad word, and I know he's not saying it to be mean. That's just part of how he talks. He's like, "What's up?" And then he says a 4-syllable word that I'm not even going to come close to. I'm not even going to try to spell it. I'm not going to acronym it. Nothing like that. But there for a while, it would irritate me. And I'd be like, and I just ignore him and walk away. And he was just trying to say hi, you know. And then one day I finally said, I really hate that word. And I turned around and walked off. Well, I finally got a chance to talk to him about it because he was standing up in my window talking to me. And somehow it came up. He didn't actually say it. But I was like, yeah, you know, I don't like it when you call me that, you know. You can say it all you want. When I don't hear you, like if I come over to your area of work and you're saying that, go for it. I don't care because I'm in your space. But when you come over here into my space, then I told him I took that opportunity to try and witness to him about how I used to say a cuss word. Every other word out of my mouth was a cuss word. And I used to say the most vulgar, nasty things to try and get people sick to their stomachs. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about.
I do.
And that's changed in me. That has changed. And then I noticed he started to say something, and then he stopped and he reworded it. And I didn't even ask him to. I said, I appreciate that. He said, yeah, well, you're not really a jerk about it. Anyways.
Yeah.
So I was talking about stress. And sometimes we stress out for no reason.
Right. So are we ready for a commercial?
Are we ready for a commercial? I believe we are, sir.
Yay, you're flying in.
Am I flying in? All right, now for
Matthew.
Facebookers, I'm going to fly rotate. All right, here we go. Woo. Although it doesn't really rotate. It just kind of stoops in. All right, hey, morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Drive.
There you are.
Say hi to Plant.
Hi, Plant.
All right. He says hi. Stress. Speaking of stress, we all have stress. Stress is no fun. It stinks. I have more fun picking up rocks in a field and throwing them in a wicker basket than I have stress. You know, that makes no sense whatsoever. Sorry. Stress is one of the major causes of weight gain. Obviously, I'm a big guy, although I don't like to stress out. Sometimes I do. Stress control is important for all-around good health. Natural Solutions Store IBC offers a product known as 5-HTP to help with reducing the stress load on our bodies. It's the building block of serotonin, you know, the feel-good neurotransmitter that regulates our moods, sleep cycles, and even influences our response to pain. You know, pain, it's not fun.
No.
Preliminary evidence suggests, I always lose my spot, that the addition of 5-HTP to our diet may promote weight loss by helping to reduce the appetite and therefore the number of calories taken in. This product provides natural, mood-enhancing ingredients to promote well-being and stress reduction. One bottle contains 180 capsules manufactured in the USA in an FDA-registered facility according to strict standards. This formula is non-GMO, gluten-free, and all-natural. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to treat, diagnose, or cure any disease. But hey, guess what? You can get this by going to www.naturalsolutionstore.bz.
.bz.
So, I was trying to get faded over there while you were scratching your beard.
Ooh, there we are. We're back.
Someone called this shirt a bowling shirt. Does this look like a bowling shirt?
I don't know.
It's pretty fancy.
I'm not an expert on shirt style.
You're not?
No.
You're always very stylish, though.
No.
You believe I'll be 39?
No, I'm not stylish at all.
I about said I'll be 39 degrees tomorrow. 39 years old. Did you look at? Is there text messages going on there?
Yes.
Is that on?
Grace is cool. Marsha Holland said about how she understands that people don't. Yes, Jason, our father knew there would be men and women that would not agree or understand Christianity or him, and how he created life and earthly things because he experienced that himself. And then Sandy Bray says, cool.
Cool.
Jessica Batson says, I still have trouble with my foul mouth. Of all things, the brain.
The brain infection should have made me forget was those words. I'm doing better than I used to, but those 4-letter words slip up out of me sometimes. Like love and hate and fart.
Yeah.
Those are all 4-letter words that
Yeah.
you can use.
Yeah. Give up foul language.
But don't say hate. Don't hate
It
anybody.
cheapens your speech.
It does. And that's another thing I spoke to the guy about last night. I said, a lot of people think that it empowers what they're saying. It actually takes away from it.
Yeah.
And he says, yeah, I guess it kind of makes you look dumb.
Yeah.
I said, well,
Yeah.
but I left it at that.
We're supposed to grow and mature and develop. So I think developing speech so that you can accurately, describe what you're thinking and feeling, so that people can really, truly relate to it.
Yeah. Dad says, old man, when I was talking about how I'm going to be 39.
You are going to be old man.
39 tomorrow.
Happy birthday tomorrow.
Tomorrow, I start my official pushing 40 date.
The pushing 40.
And you know what?
Congratulations, you made
That
it.
coffee tastes weird
Well,
today.
Almost made it.
Have you tried any of it?
Yeah.
Maybe it's the hazelnut creamer I used.
I don't know. It's strong.
I could tell, but I can tell even you're trying not to make a face. He's like, that was probably one of the funniest things that we talked about this morning.
Yeah, it was. Oh,
I can't even remember what it was about.
chair is horrible.
Isn't it though? You want to go get the wicker one?
No.
You don't want to sit in the wicker one? You'd fall asleep leaning back in that thing.
I'm
There's been
about
a
to
couple
fall
times
asleep
that we
now.
were both falling asleep at the old studio
Yeah.
when we were just on radio.
There were times we were falling asleep.
Yeah.
I had nodded off on the show several times.
Lordy, El Mano is 40 next year. Marcia says, Jessica, God still loves you, sister, even if those words come out of your mouth with a big heart.
Yes. Amen.
So, I'm really happy that you got licensed, and I'm really happy that Marcia got licensed. I don't know that we covered that yesterday too much.
Yeah.
It's a big step, and I think you're going in the right direction. But of course, this is a big journey. It's an exciting adventure.
Yeah.
Are you nervous about it?
No, I don't know. I don't think nervous is the right word. I don't know.
Now, we did cover that yesterday. We also covered the Lady Award that you got. The Jimmy Dunn Award.
Yeah.
You looked almost like you wanted to give it to somebody else while you were
did.
up there. Because, when we won that award, 2 years ago?
I
2 or
didn't
3
know
years
that
ago?
Marcia was up for another award. So I was happy that she won one. That she won an award for her service. I had hoped, I think that it would have been, and it's not my place to decide who gets an award or not. It's not a process I'm involved in. But I would like to have seen...
That's a good response, Jessica.
what's his name? Yesterday's show. What was that lady? What's that lady? I can't. Their names escape me right now.
There's Dennis and Becky
Dennis
Code.
Becky Code. I would have liked to have seen Becky Code get one because I understand having your home being used for God's service is just overwhelming and never ending. There's no break. There's no recess really.
No, there's not a recess because
Yeah.
recess is fun.
Yeah, and even when you are on break and you're taking your own time for yourself, there's still just such a pressing and weighing amount of things that have to be taken care of, even just the property itself. So and that can get away from you. So I wish that for her burden that she'd been recognized.
Uncle Ray says, I knew a pastor who changed his bad words with the word joy.
Huh.
I guess that works.
I think I just try. I like to just try to explain better and more detail what I'm feeling. I don't know about replacing them as good because it's.
I think it's more. I think it's more the spirit behind them.
Yeah.
That is real vulgarity. Grandpa Bearden, he told me when I was younger, he had a friend that would say Boulder Dash instead of another word.
Yeah, it says you're using his creamer.
Yeah. Using my creamer, boy. That's Scott says, that's funny, Dad. And then he says, amen. Dad says, amen. We're not on top of our game today, but I think we're both pretty sleepy.
Yep.
It's really quiet around the house now without the boys there.
Yeah.
It's always quiet.
Phil's preparing to leave. I don't know when. Jody, he's left. He's just got to get the rest of his things. So I'm going to have to pressure him about that if he doesn't get more of it done soon.
So you're going to be looking for a roommate?
I might just live alone for a while.
Yeah. Well, by yourself.
Yeah. Maybe. I'll try to, see if I can't manage it budgetarily.
Well, budgetarily, I'm sure you can manage it budgetarily.
That'll mean not doing very much of anything else.
Yeah.
Working, going home.
But I also don't want you to
church.
get lonely and slip into depression or anything by yourself.
I might just devote some time to cleaning the place up and doing things, having things the way I like them.
I mean, you'll always have Jesus there.
I like to have things pretty neat and clean, but when you invite other people into your house, you have to kind of let some things go, or else you'll constantly be at odds with your roommates. And maybe there's a better guideline or set of rules that I could implement. I'd have to probably get them from somebody else who has a successful program. That would help. But
talk to Pastor Marcia.
Yeah.
She's got a successful ladies' home.
Yeah.
And if she can keep ladies under control, she can give you some good...
I remember the home that I was in had chore days every Saturday. We all had to revolve, and nothing was left out. So everything got dusted once a week. Everything got washed once a week, including the entire toilet. It was all inspected every week. You had to wash the toilet. When you could wash the toilet, it wasn't just cleaning the bowl. You had to wash that toilet from top to bottom, from the top of it to where it met the floor.
With a fine-tooth comb?
Same with the tubs and showers, sinks, all that stuff had to be done. And if they found something that was undone, you couldn't go out. You couldn't leave.
When I was in the Job Corps?
You had to show up for certain things, and if your schedule for work didn't work that way, you had to see that you were attending something of an accepted nature that would be able to replace it, or
They were pretty strict when I was in the Job Corps, and that wasn't even a rehab facility or anything like that. That was it's basically trade school. A lot of people are there in lieu of jail.
Yeah.
But I was there because I wanted to become a better contributor to society.
Yeah, I don't want my house to be taken advantage of as a way to avoid going into a program. And I think that is in some way, or of a way of transitioning out of it. Yeah. Transitioning out of it is one thing, but to see somebody transition out of a program into my home to completely drop all of the service that they were doing in there and all that, it's really just a way to get out of the program and stop following the program. You can't get out of a recovery program and stop following and implementing those things you learned and expect your life to continue on the right path.
Right.
Because once you drop off of all of those things in service and study and the things that you're doing, once those things drop off, you're just left with the same old, person that you were left with. Those things are the change in your life, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Loving God, studying His Word, taking each step each day, saying, Lord, what would you have me do? And repenting of your sins. Those are all steps that you have to take every step of every day in order to stay sober.
Right.
And everybody fails and falls short and sometimes wanders from that path. but then it's very important to repent and get back on it, or you're in trouble. In my opinion.
All right, Jessica, we love you. It's good to
She
see
got
you
it.
on here. Jessica Batson that says, y'all have a good day. I got to take my meds.
All right.
Marcia says, Jason, I want to plant the seed. We wanting to open a men's program.
Yeah.
Big smiley face.
Yeah. I don't know.
Be blessed, Jessica.
Thank you.
Well, you know,
be blessed. Jessica.
I was going to say something, and I just completely lost it. Completely forgot it. It may have had something to do with the Job Corps.
Yeah, you were talking about the Job Corps. I interrupted you. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
no, I mean, we had to make our beds every morning,
Yeah.
clean everything up, and we had the Bay Chiefs would come in and inspect everybody's cleaning job, and everybody would have to have an assigned job to do.
Yeah.
My job was to clean up the outside. Then I was going to talk about something else, but my brain just completely left me.
Yeah, my concern about a house is if you don't have a really thoroughly implemented and successful plan already, what happens is you get somebody in your house and there was something that you didn't or neglected to cover, and then how do you hold them accountable to that as part of the program once you realize you may have neglected to include a certain requirement or expectation? You know, so it's important to have a pretty thorough plan,
Right.
and pretty thorough expectations.
Yeah.
Because one of the natures of people who are drug addicted and alcoholic
Steve.
is that they will find a way around every single thing. They have found a way to drink and use their drug, no matter what, for a long time. And if they can be in a program and find a way around its rules, they will.
Yeah. And that's you get good at it for, after doing it for so many years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could.
You know, I see Facebooks, a lot of people in programs or transitioning from programs. You see their Facebooks, and they're just such beautiful pictures of what a Christian life should be, and you see the flaw, the humanity in it also, and you see their pain and their suffering, but you also see their trust and devotion to God. It's so beautiful, but a lot of times I think a lot of that is just what they want you to see, what they want, how they want you to think of them is the impression that they put out there rather than it actually being how they feel. And then when they end up getting out and they transition, a lot of those things slowly drop off and drop off and drop off, and then they're back into it. So I don't want to.
I was going to talk about.
I don't want to be that.
We had a friend that used to say, and he was in drug court, and he was part of the band for a minute, and he said, "Will I smoke a J
Yeah.
again? Yes. Will it be today? No."
Probably not, he said.
And then you said, well, you had also witnessed to him and said that is very dangerous thinking.
Yeah.
That's, and he ended up overdosing and passing away eventually. So, that also reminds me to always be careful, because you're never fully out of the woods.
Yeah.
Until we leave this world, that's going to be in the forefront, of things that we have to watch out for.
Yeah. The enemy seeking to and fro like a lion, seeking whom he may devour, doesn't necessarily mean that he's wanting to violently assault and kill you, but that he's looking for your weakness and trying to find a way to take you down.
When he does, he pounces.
So you have to be vigilant, yeah.
And he says it's to steal, kill, and destroy, right?
Yep.
That's and he will. They have no qualms about ruining someone's life. But there's hope,
Yeah.
everybody. That if you don't take away anything from today's show, take away the fact that take Jesus with you.
Yes.
That's what we want you to do. We don't care what doctrine you are, what denomination you are. Jesus is Jesus is Jesus. He is the Alpha, the Omega, the beginning and the end. He was there. He was the Word. He is the Word, and there's nothing in this world that was created that wasn't created by him.
Mm-hmm.
Marcia says, we will take them to Scripture and moral standing. If it isn't in the program rules, how does God view it?
Steve says he always fell short.
Yeah, I saw that. I was trying to take the tall road on that and not actually...
The high road.
Oh, yeah, is that what it is? The high road.
Yeah.
I'm saying that wrong, huh? Is your back hurting?
Yeah, a little bit.
Do we need to amputate?
Yep, amputate it.
All right.
Take it out.
There you go. This has got a window breaker on it. I could just sit there and tap your spine with it. Would that help?
Spinal tap? Yeah, it might help.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a spinal tap done?
I had one done. Yeah.
It is not. It is not.
Not a pretty sight.
That needle seems like it's like this long. The first time I ever saw one of those, actually, the first time I saw one was whenever they tapped Janine, my son's mother, when she was pregnant and giving birth. They did what do they call that? What do they call that?
Saddle block.
Saddle block?
Spinal tap and a saddle block? Or
No, it was, what do they call that? You ladies out there, help me out. What is it called whenever they numb the woman from the waist down using the huge needle in the spine?
Yeah, there's something. I don't know.
I can't remember now. That's weird. But, I saw it done, and you'd think that I wouldn't forget that. Because it's a huge needle.
Yeah.
And you're like, and it's not really a flexible, well, it is kind of a flexible needle. But it's still a needle. You can see it. It's shiny. You can see it's like, and they push it in your back and down in between your epidural. Thank you for that, Marcia. Put it between your vertebrae.
Yeah.
And then they pull the needle out and leave the catheter tube in there.
Yeah.
And they constantly, for an epidural, and then they constantly feed numbing medication.
Yeah.
And basically make the person a paraplegic for a short period of time. And I will say, and I'm gonna throw her out here. I'm gonna throw her under the bus. My son's mother, my oldest son's mother, she was pushing for 2.5 hours, and her pelvis was too small, and his head was so big he wasn't getting through there. I'm not gonna go into all the details of my experience watching him being born. But I will say, ladies and gentlemen, if you have children, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It is an overwhelming, gross. It's gross. Come on. I mean, it's you whenever, and it doesn't gross me out. But I'm just saying, it's a gross, most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life.
Contradiction in terms.
Yes, but I mean that's the feelings. You're swarming with all kinds of emotions. Especially, I'm gonna be a dad.
It's just unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, she had been pushing for 2.5 hours, and she was finally giving them. I was her Lamaze coach. Obviously, I did the counting and stuff. And she was under the influence of medication, and she was kind of grumpy. She didn't cuss at anybody. But she said, "That's it. I'm done. I'm getting out of this chair. That's it. I'm not doing this no more." And then, the face she made when she was trying to move her legs and get them out of the stirrups. Oh my goodness! I felt so bad for her. Yeah. She's like, just that look of concentration. Her legs weren't moving. Her hips kind of were, like her back right up above her hips. Like, yeah, wasn't happening. We want to hear some of y'all's funny stories about birth. Because everybody has interesting stories.
Yeah.
I've got one that I think I've told you. I'm not going to tell it on the air because it is kind of gross and it involves blood and me about passing out. I did really good through the whole thing until I got to that point. And I just, I got a lot of funny stories.
I got a little excited and started doing the breathing too fast, and the nurse was like, "You're making her hyperventilate." So I'm hyperventilating.
You're like, okay, ready, breathe.
Yeah. I'm turning blue.
I have
Or white, or whatever you turn when you do that.
yeah, white. That works. White,
Yeah.
or maybe red. I don't know.
Pale.
Pale, yeah, definitely pale. And you can see like you can see the absence in the eyes. You're like, because you get lightheaded and want to fall over, but her mom was in there eating stuff. They had tried to induce the labor. They put the medicine in her to induce the labor, and now it was just the waiting game. And I had been up for 30 hours, something like that. I was pretty tired. So her mom stayed in there with her and sat in the recliner in the dark. And I went into the waiting room to stretch out on the couch in there and fall asleep. And I finally get to sleep. And then her mom comes in there and says, she doesn't want me in there. She wants you in there. And then I asked, when I got in there, I asked, her what was going on. And I guess her mom was in there eating carrots and chips and not being quiet about it. And it was so funny. She had so much stuff on the table there, like food and stuff. Her mom brought carrots, sandwich stuff. I mean, just everything. The doctor even came in. He looked at everybody, and then he looked over, and you could see like he was like, well, he goes, oh wow, got a whole campsite going there, don't you? And then he continued to talk to us, but it was funny. Marcia said her epidural quit working with Jennifer, but I felt the Lord wanted me to feel childbirth because I couldn't have any more children. Yeah, that's I could see that. That's part of the punishment of our fall, isn't it? The pain of childbirth and the longing for that pain.
I think that it's not just in delivery.
You don't?
I think I can see
children are a pain sometimes.
I think women suffer with adult children in a much different way than men do.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of an adult child.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
No. What?
Yeah. What?
As Dr. Wilkie would say.
Dr. Wilkie. We need to get him on our show. He's on at the Veterans Church on Thursday nights and every other Sunday. And he's so funny.
Yeah.
They've got quite a following, those guys do.
Is it time?
Yeah, it's just about. We got 3 minutes before we'll sign off. Oh,
oops.
Hi, Grace. Hey. Are you awake today? That's right. We always talk to everybody that comes in here. Don't we, Tom?
Yes, we do.
All right.
No, that's not true because I come in early every week.
That coffee's not super awesome, Tom. We'll have to make some more.
It's, definitely not super.
There's also some water over there. Anyways, so Tom and Grace are going to be here today, and they've got a guest that they're going to be talking to on the phone. My understanding is that Amber will not be here today because she has a very bad migraine. So pray for her because these lights are not good on migraines.
No.
They're really bright.
They are bright.
There's water right there in front of you, Tom. I want to take this opportunity to talk about one of our sponsors.
Yes.
You think?
Are you ready?
Do you have the in-the-game insurance guy there?
Maybe. Am I going to wipe over to you?
No. Let's do the Natural Solutions
I think
Store.
I have it. Let's see. In-the-game insurance, I do have it.
Do you? Okay, so...
Ta-da. There it is.
All right. Am I there? Is it me?
You're there. It's
all
you.
right. Today we're going to talk
brother.
about inthegameinsurance.com. You can give Jay a call there. Not Jay here, not Pastor Jay, but Jay Hunt at 816-260-6737. Or you can just go to getaholidainsurance.com to get a quote. I mean, these guys insure almost everything. Almost everything. You can have all your insurance needs met through them. You call them, and they will work with you to find the best plan that fits your budget. So give them a call. I mean, they've got boat insurance, house insurance, car insurance, life insurance, insurance. That's how much insurance they've got. I think they probably have volcano insurance too. Just in case.
It's called gap insurance.
Gap insurance?
Insurance is called gap.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, I was just being silly, but I guess that really is a real thing.
Yeah. It's to ensure the difference between
your car's depreciation. Yeah. So give them a call or go online. Check it out. InTheGameInsurance.com. Get a hold of Jay Hunt and tell him Matt and Jay sent you. So, yeah. Back to you guys.
Is that it? We out of here?
We hold on a second.
No.
I'm gonna pull up our music.
Yeah. Oh, so In the Game is over.
And the game insurance is over.
Oh, wait a minute. What happened?
I don't know. What'd you do?
I don't know.
I'd like to thank everybody for joining us on the morning drive today. We'll be back on tomorrow, same time, same channel. So until then, my friends, God bless you and keep you. We love you. My name is Matt.
My name is Jay.
This has been the morning drive. You canceling us out? You shutting us down?
Oh, yeah. Let me do that.